Hello, my friends on YouTube. Today is September 8th, 2024, Sunday. Um, because of the last video, somehow the Muslim Sunni feel self-satisfaction because they don't accept mut'a marriage. And we spoke in the last video, mut'a marriage means pleasure, sexual pleasure, marriage, extramarital affair. So because they don't do it, they feel self-righteous. So I decided to speak about something similar that the Sunni Muslim or the sect of Sunni Muslim are doing, that it is very, very similar. So today's video is called Misyar marriage. Marriage, or the word nikah. Nikah, it could be marriage, or sometimes is used as marriage, but also sometimes, most of the time is used as the F word. Okay? So before it's marriage, it's F word. Okay? I hope that's clear. We don't want to make it very clear because of YouTube. Okay, I hope this is clear enough. Misyar, marriage. Well, the word misyar, it could have two meanings. The root word is sayr, which means walking or moving, or a movement happening. So misyar marriage is it requires some movement. Okay? And that means, I will explain that. What does that mean? Let's say, for example, I live in Europe. My residence and my work is in the UK. However, once a month or once every 2 months or once every while, I need to go to, let's say, France or Italy or Spain to do some work there. And I spend in these places, let's say 3-4 days a week or so, something of that effect. And therefore, I'm far away from my wife. I need a woman. But a woman is costly. You have to pay, I'm sorry, you have to pay the dowry, you have to pay for a house, you have to pay for sustaining this house, you have to pay for everything, you have to pay for her clothes, for this, that. You don't want that. You can't afford all that. And if it's for pleasure, why burden myself with all that? So what happens here? I marry misyar marriage. Marriage on the move. Okay. What do? I'm going to put that in the description box. You can read about it. According to the religious leader of Sunni sect, they say the woman gives up some of her rights or whatever she is entitled to, which is, let's say, for example, the dowry. When the husband goes to marry a woman, he pays for her, buys her in a way. He pays for her. Okay, the Shia believe when they go to have mut'a marriage, it depends on how long you pay, depending on the period. So if it's half an hour, I don't know, let's say $100 in half an hour. I don't know, I'm giving a number. I never really asked for that. I don't know what they do, but let's say $100 for half an hour. Okay, but what if you want to all day? Then you get a better deal. Maybe you get $300 for the whole day, 24 hours. What if I want 1 whole month? So you have to get into agreement with her. She will tell you maybe 2,000, I'm not sure, let's say $2,000. Okay, how about for the whole year? Because I'm here for 1 year, I'm doing some courses here or teaching or learning or whatever, I will be here 1 year. So she will tell you, okay, maybe $1,000 each month. What if I'm studying for 4 years? Then there is a different price. Okay, what if I want you all my life as a wife? That's a different price. So the price vary depending on the period. So when you take her all her life, you have to pay her more. Okay, it's not like half an hour. No, you are taking the whole woman until she dies. You pay more, of course. Or you get a good deal because you're not like paying hourly basis thing, so you get a good deal. But she's yours all her life. You can do whatever you want. Because she's yours now, you paid. However, when it comes to Misyar, that's in Mut'a. Mut'a is in the Shia sect. The Shia sect, for those who don't know, Islam main parts that make Muslim people are Muslim Sunni. They're about 73% of the Muslim population, whereas the Muslim Shia about 23% of the Muslim. And there are small groups here like Baha'u'llah, Ahmadiyya, Alawiyya. There are many different small groups here and there. They make the rest. But the two main sects are Sunni and Shia. And both of them practiced mut'ah, marriage. When the Prophet of Allah, may the blessing of Allah be upon him, he allowed them, when they were invading one village or town, to go around and find girls and pay them and enjoy. And then he said, no, that's forbidden, that's wrong. And in another invasion, the guys wanted, he said, okay, go and do it. It's okay. So they went and did. And then the Muslim Sunni say he forbade it to the judgment day. Whereas the Muslim Shia said, that's nonsense, you are ashamed of it and you can't face reality, and that's why you say he stopped it. No, he didn't. And therefore, because we believe in Allah and His Messenger, we will continue doing that. So until this day, only the Muslim Shiite practice this stuff, that they go, and actually this is arranged by the religious person, the head of the mosque. He will find a woman, like if I go to, let's say, Iran or Iraq, one of the countries that has Muslim Shiite, and I will tell him I'm interested in a woman for half an hour or 2 days or what have you. He will get me a list of pictures. He will show me a pile of pictures to choose of all ages, and he will ask me, if you want her, what age range do you want her? Do you want a young girl? Do you want 10 years old, 12 years old, 15? You want a virgin? And each has its price. Channel 13 made a program about this. I'm not saying something that it's not documented. And you will, let's say, you pay this religious leader. It's shame to call him a religious leader. But anyway, let's say you agreed on this person, and this person cost, let's say, $1,000. It's very clear. My cut, let's say, I don't know, but let's say 20% or 25%. This is my cut. I get 25%, that's $250 for me, because I'm the one who arranged that, and I'm going to write you the contract to do this with this girl for, or this woman for that length of time. And once it's done, you each go his way or her way. Okay? And let's say it's $1,000, he will take his cut, let's say $250, and he will give the woman or the girl or her father $750. That's the cut of the mut'a woman, the woman who give herself so that she can make some money. So in any minds, any person, any decent person, any average person, is a type of prostitution. And the pimp who's arranging that. And therefore I got like self-righteousness and self-satisfaction, Muslim, Sunni, that they are not doing that, you see. Okay, let's see. I wrote it in Arabic, but it is not marriage. It is practically worse than the F word. I don't know what to say, but it's worse. They say it, Misyar marriage. Misyar is on the move. Marriage is known. So you go to another town or city, or let's say I work on the east coast of United States. Let's say I'm going to the center of the United States, Chicago or Tennessee, or anyway, a place that it's far away from East Coast, New York. So I can actually have something called Misyar marriage. What's Misyar marriage? It's a marriage. Supposedly, it's a marriage. Okay? And this marriage, according to the religious authority in Sunni sects, is the woman gives up some of her rights. For example, a man has to pay dowry to buy her, to get her. To get a woman, you have to pay. The man has to pay. You are taking my daughter, so you pay. In Shia, they agree on timing. But here, when you marry in the Sunni sect, there is no timing, it's open. When you feel tired of her or you cannot live together, you pay her something called late dowry. That, for example, the dowry is when you take the woman into your home. You pay certain amount of money. Let's say $1,000. But there is late dowry. The late dowry is in case if you are fed up of her, you don't want her anymore, you want to get another woman, new woman, then you pay her the late dowry and she goes back to her home, she finds another man, he pays her again, whatever, and you get a new woman. So in the Misyar marriage, the woman, for a reason or another, would say, okay, I don't want dowry. Come and marry me. For a reason or another, she needs a man. Maybe for emotional support, maybe for sexual desire. I don't know her motivation, but they agree on Misyar marriage. So they will give their condition. I'm not paying, she will tell him, you don't have to pay dowry, you don't have to pay for my food, you don't have to, I am an independent woman, I'm educated, I have my job, I have my business, I am making enough money, I have my place, you don't need to provide me for anything. It's just at the time when the hormone is so high and I need, you come to help me to bring my hormone level down. so I can function. Once you have done that, get the hell out. Get out of here. I don't want to see you. That's practically most of women who are doing that now. Because in terms of marriage, it's recognized by religious authority and recognized by the government that it is marriage. In the past, it's true, the woman used to give up some of her rights. And I'm going to speak about the first woman who gave up her right in this situation. But now, because there is education, the woman actually tells him what to do. Okay? She's most of the time successful woman, working. She is educated. She has her career. And especially in many countries in the Middle East these days, somehow young people cannot get married because of finance. There is a struggle for young people to get married. And therefore, if a woman who has her own money and her own career and her own business, she can set up the conditions. It wasn't like that in the past, but now she will tell him, okay, I have my place. When I need you, you come. When I'm done, you leave. You get the hell out. But in the past, the first woman who actually became a Misyar wife was the second wife of the Prophet of Allah. May the blessing of Allah be upon him. After the death of Khadija, the first wife, there was a second wife. Her name was Sauda. Sauda was a grown-up woman. She was not young. I really don't know her age exactly, but she was not young. And probably, that's my own interpretation of the situation. I could be wrong. The first wife, Khadija, she was 40 when the Prophet of Allah, may the blessing of Allah be on him. See, we are respecting him so that YouTube cannot give us strike. We are respecting here. May the blessing of Allah be upon him. Okay? He tried Khadija. He was a young guy. And she was married twice before. And she had experience. And he was young, inexperienced. So she applied her experience with him. You get what I'm saying? You understand? So all of her past experience, she did with him. So I guess his brain was burning. He knew that older women have experience. So when she died right away, he married an older woman with experience. But at a certain point, this woman, Sauda, her name was Sauda, she became old, and probably she wasn't able to do the things that she was able to do before. And therefore the Prophet of Allah, may the blessing of Allah be upon him in heaven, he decided to divorce her. In a way, she is no longer useful or as useful. And as a grown-up woman, old woman now, she has no place to go. And she knew his head. I'm old. He's not so much interested in me. So she initiated that type of marriage, Misyar. She let go of her rights because according to the Islamic tradition, he the Prophet of Allah, may the blessing of Allah be upon him, has to spend one night with each of the wives he had. So she had a turn. So she herself suggested to him, out of fear, because where would she go? She said, I'll give my night to Aisha. There were at least 8 more wives. But she chose Aisha, the youngest girl, the one whom he married when she was 9. And maybe by now she is 13, 14. She's still a child, really. She knew he preferred Aisha to all other women, all other wives. And the reason here could be because she was little. Actually, her structure, physical structure, was small. She was not a big, well-built woman. She was small. And because probably she was small, she couldn't handle that, so maybe she was screaming during the meeting with him, and that probably got him going, and Sauda knew that. So once she told him, I give my night to Aisha, but don't kick me out, he agreed. Yeah, you can sit here and I'll take care of your food and accommodation. You stay here, but I have no obligation to come to you. You're my wife, yes, but no obligation. You don't ask me to come to see you one night. I spend 2 nights in a way with Aisha, your night and Aisha's night. And that's privilege for me, and you gave up your right. So this was the first Misyar marriage. A woman gave up her right as a wife in the Islamic tradition, so the Prophet of Allah can enjoy Aisha 2 days on the row. So if you are, as a Muslim Sunni, proud, actually I don't accept. It's not that I'm supporting the Muslim Shia. I reject both ideas. But at least they have the guts to stand up and say, no, the Prophet of Allah did not stop muta marriage. If you're ashamed, that's your problem. We're not. So I respect them for that. They are taking responsibility even for the wrong thing that I see it wrong. They are continuing in it. They are not ashamed of it. They don't want to be ashamed of it. They want to continue in the footsteps of their Prophet. Whereas Muslim Sunni are ashamed and trying to say, oh, he forbade it until Judgment Day. Nonetheless, they go around and they do something very, very similar, if not worse. They are humiliating themselves and humiliating women with them. We thank you very much, and we hope to hear from you.